That's exciting.
So, an interesting tidbit. I whispered shot just now, and I was like, draft me to God account because the inside joke that I was talking about. And he said, bruh, now that I'm not shot calling, I can be a good tank. And I think there's something to be said for coming into a new role. Shot traditionally does not play tank. So in his lineup, he's been doing a serviceable job on the front line. But if you're spending time thinking about the macro play, the rhythm and coordination of your team, as well as a new role to you, I definitely see how you could be less than efficient. And I would mark the comparison of how his stitches hooks were landing, even just as soon as Monday to tonight. It's a world of difference.
I like how Shot's playing. I really do. Shot and I actually go way back. So when I was with Fnatic, when we were kind of like in between rosters, mid 2015, between like the Lowell lineup and the like Quacknick's current lineup, basically what we were doing was scouting for a North American Fnatic team. Ooh, PogChamp. I've never really talked about this before. So we're looking to make like Fnatic NA, and it was an academy team. But as I was doing that, I was working with amateur teams, and Team Blank was one of them, and Shot was on Team Blank. And basically, I had that same thought, and it was Shot and Araragi, who was a player on that team. And I actually think that they perform better when you don't, and I know this happens to a lot of players, but when they get put in those shot calling roles, I'm not sure if they perform as best as they can. Like, they need to just be able to focus on their own gameplay and focus on what's happening with their team in order to be most effective, and maybe that's what we're seeing. But yeah, I said the same thing about the player Araragi. You know, I liked him when he wasn't in shot calling positions. So sometimes players really excel when they're just given less responsibility like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I feel like a lot of it also has to do with the fact that, you know, Shot is just new to tanking.
Yeah.
If he was in a role where it's just like, I can do this like the back of my hand, then he probably would have the mental capacity to adequately fulfill both roles.
Yeah.
But in a situation where it's like, you know, I'm used to being the damage dealer in the back, and now I'm on the front setting things up for the rest of my team. Oh, also, we should rotate here after this team fight. Like, I see how you have that struggle.
Yeah.
But we're getting into the lobby now. Looks like Flamer's Lane will be on the right side this time. We are in here. Argy, Colin.
Hey, and Thunder Awakens on the left? Is it Thunder Awakens, plural? Like it's Awaken?
I think it's a single lone awaken.
Only one time does the Thunder Awaken.
Thunder Awaken the one time.
Man, I sometimes I get like emotional when I'm like watching this game or like involved in this game, and I just like look over and I'm reading chat, and then I'm like hearing you in my ears, and I just get so excited about this game. And I just wanted to thank everybody for being here, because it's super sweet that everybody's here supporting the amateur scene. I just flip and love this game so much, man, and I'm just so stoked that everybody's here hanging out, having a good time, watching some games, and supporting the AM scene. So love y'all. Thanks for being here.
I'm so touched,
dude. I don't know.
I agree. I'm not even memeing, man. Thanks for including me in that, and thanks to you guys for showing up. These games only continue to improve here at Heroes Hype. Heroes Hype has been around since the earliest stages of the North American competitive scene, and the bar just continues to rise. I no longer think that this is the tournament where you just show up and, hey, we'll just play around and have fun. Like, these teams are playing with a tenacity unlike anything we've seen outside of Open Division, where you're playing for the Crucible. I mean, these teams are sharpening their skills. They're ready to go. They're laying it all on the line, and you can show your appreciation for that. Exclamation point! Matcherino, HH Tempo 2, $1 to the prize pool.
True that. BOE.
Here we go.
I was talking about this last week. You know, it's again one of my favorite maps. I feel like I say that about every map, but I swear it's only it's only Towers of Doom, Cursed Hollow, and this map. So. Thunder Awakens on the left, right? Flame is Lame is first pick, first ban?
Yeah. They are. We've seen them look rather dominant in the Open Division this week on Battlefield of Eternity. So unless Thunder Awakens say anything about it,
like,
that trend stays to continue.
Ban the Tassadar, man. Like, I want to see, personally, I just want to see, okay, the Uther's ban. I want to see Flame is Lame play something a little bit different.
I'd be curious to see a different facet. Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke. If it ain't broke.
Yeah, there we go. There's the Tassadar first pick. So, you know, like you said, if it ain't broke, right? Now, Dahaka's up again. Greymane, Genji, all great heroes. on this map. Abathur even up. Usually picking it in the 1-2 is a little bit risky, but he's there nonetheless.
I would amend my earlier statement. If you are looking to just like experiment in Hero Type, you do it in a situation like this for Flame is Lame. Maybe they're new to enabling Tassadar in a composition to have like a Vala or something like that, and they just want to sharpen this skill. So they heavily prioritize taking Tassadar first because they want experience at this level with this comp, but you still play it seriously. And I think that might be what we're seeing here. They're just really trying to hammer in this philosophy, this mindset. Like Shot said, they've shifted their shot calling over to Legend. Yeah. So having some kind of static presence as far as composition goes.
Oh, that's early.
That change.
Okay, this is the first time we've seen this. So the Tassadar first pick is so dangerous because you can just steal away the Vala. You can steal away, one of the best batteries on BOE. And now, I guess they have to go Greymane. But, Greymane and Tassadar doesn't have the greatest interaction unless they decide to go with the Tracer. That's actually something I haven't thought of right now. But, dude, the Malthael that early, that's pretty intense. I actually anticipate Flame is Lame banning it around second phase. So perhaps that's when you have to pick it up. But still, we haven't seen him picked up this early yet. I get excited when we see early picks like that. It's intense.
It's aggressive. I think it's very in your face, and I feel that Thunder Awaken will have to play this game exactly like that to make it work. I hear a gasp from our community.
Oh, dude, the Immortal interaction as well for Reaper's Mark, right?
That does tick for
big damage. So.
And the suspense violin plays as the plot twist comes to pass.
Okay, so this is Stitches plus Genji. Alright, I like it so far. Genji Tassadar is pretty gnarly. My team likes it, as you've seen if you've watched our games. So I personally really love the combination. And Tassadar just gains so much value on this map too, because so much of the contest on this map is in a very small area, and with Oracle you're able to see everything that's going on like at all times. So
yeah,
I like the draft so far from Flame is Lame, but I also like the Malthael and the interaction on the Immortals. So let's see what the bans are. If you're Thunder Awakens, you're targeting a support. Like I don't know, do they just ban the Malfurion? Do they not want the roots with the Stitches? Like what are they looking at here?
Well, they're hovering Tracer right now, and you're playing against Legend. I understand the inspiration behind that ban. Yeah, I'm wondering if Genji Tracer really would have worked if they don't have a reliable lockdown element like Variant. If they're not planning on going something like that, I definitely see the value. But Uther's on the board. I mean, Variant is still out there as well, so I'm wondering if they could have gotten more value banning someone else.
Yeah, honestly, like Genji Tracer, like it's okay, but that really puts Tassadar in an odd situation. Both A, he has to position so far forward in order to put shields on those deep dive targets, and B, he has to decide who am I giving it to, right? Is it myself? Is it Genji? Is it Tracer? Like who am I shielding? Also curious to note that we haven't even seen Malfurion picked up at all. So
yeah,
so they banned the Medivh. They're looking at Burst? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Continue. No. I'm equally vexed by this Medivh ban. Not sure if this is targeted. They just want to make sure their damage sticks. They don't want to deal with force of will, denying a takedown, and potentially turning a team fight. I mean, when you're playing against Malthael, every second's going to count.
Yeah.
You early take Tassadar, you're trying to gear yourself towards some form of sustain, and that lends itself towards a longer team fight. And that's exactly where Malthael thrives. So I can see why they'd want to take him off the board.
So Flame is Lame has like no wave clear at this point. I want to see Thunder Awakens picking up a Dahaka, and then I want to see them. So Tyrael Greymane, they're looking at the dive with Vala Malthael. Okay, that makes sense. Well, sorry, not the Vala part, but the Malthael. So they want the dive, but I was gonna say I wanted to see the Dahaka just so that they can generate lane pressure, and then force. I guess the roster of Flame is Lame to come fight into them and then get the Dahaka digs, and I think they would actually gain a lot of value with the slow damage they have with Malthael and Vala, Q build on the Immortals, because honestly Flame is Lame don't have a lot of poke damage on the Immortals, so I think that would have been a good pick, but now they have to pick a support to finish off their draft. What do you think is going to happen with Flame is Lame here?
Well, I guess there's no need to question that because they lock in Ariel and Lunar. very sound choices. It does answer the wave clear to a degree, and it also puts them on better footing as far as their mortal race goes. But I really like the points that you were making as far as, Thunder Awaken were in a position where they could just put on the siege pressure and just win out that way. And before you know it, Flame is Lame are just trying to respond, trying to keep up with the constant wave clear that they're short on. And then you go for a team fight. But I guess they just want to dive and try to blow people up. And that kind of plays into the hands of what Flame is Lame is trying to set up, I feel.
At the same time, strategically it may have been a little bit of a miss. However, we're going to get some team fights, and that's always what I'm excited about.
Curling evil mustache.
Yeah, so Thunder Awaken's last pick, is it the Rhaegar? It could even be the Kharazim, a decent pick into Genji. Or even, I actually still think Malfurion's pretty good, so.
Ooh. Yeah, Malf would be pretty solid here, especially against Genji and Tashadar. You deny that dimensional shift. Greymane jumps on a face. Yeah, actually, can do the same job though to a degree.
Yeah, and that's the best pick here for sure. I think the Brightwing is definitely the best pick. I said Malfurion because I'm not used to seeing Brightwing show up as much. But yeah, Brightwing is totally the pick here. I think that's a fantastic job. Slow damage from Lunara, and it's pretty much negated by Brightwing's AoE healing. The only issue here is Genji, but he's going to be diving, and maybe he'll die in a polymorph. There's a lot of damage from the Malthael, Greymane, and Vala. So both of these drafts I do like, but I've been liking the play from Flame is Lame. Haven't seen Thunder Awakens yet. So which draft are you kind of leaning towards?
I actually like Thunder Awakens comp more. If they play it the way I think they could potentially. I think you go for the increased range on the Ray Strike for Malthael. I think you wait for Genji to jump in, you polymorph from Greymane could go for the throat, throws in a ton of burst damage. The moment Genji tries to leave, Malthael teleports with the added range, gets that takedown, team fight sure is effective.
True that. We'll have to see how this one plays out. We haven't really talked about the stitches, but that's also just a major trump card in this comp. And as you were saying earlier, Shot was quite the monster on that pick.
Well, we're going to see exactly how it plays out. Over on the left side, we have the members of Thunder Awaken. Etomix is what I'm going to go with. Is on Vala. Insecure is playing Greymane. Labarbe's on Malthael. Rockblin is playing Tyrael. And D-Blink, the support. Friends on Brighton.
And on the right is Flame is Lame. We got Shot on Stitches. Legend playing the Lunara. Trap Queen on the Tassadar. We got Deadly Ice playing the Genji. And Dark Chimera on Ariel.
Shot with the memes. King Stitches comes out to play.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the merits of Shot no longer having to shot call and being able to focus on his new position of tank, which he is settling into rather well. So I imagine we would see further sharp play on this hero. Getting yanked out of position is something that the blue teams have to worry about.
Yeah, and we do see the Q build on the Vala, so pretty standard build on this map. But like we were talking about how it would work on this map earlier, and we actually got the 3-2-3 coming in.
PP player balls with a frowny face.
One thing I also wanted to comment on real quick was the fact that we're seeing, so far it looks like the beginning of what is going to be the E build from Genji. What is it? Swift is the wind instead of agile dismount. So what do you like better? Do you like the D mixed with Q synergy, or do you like E build? What are you thinking?
I like the idea of Swift as the win in this setup. When you're dealing with a solo Brightwing, you don't have a lot of burst damage to deal with. So those people stand to be at low health for a good amount of time. Yep. And that's when you want to try to dash in and have the most mobility. So I see where they're going. Another thing to consider is that Genji's actually going to be the solo laner at the beginning of this. So having that added mobility, he hits the E, dances around a little more, he tries to kite. I see if they're committing him to that role, then I see why they'd go for that heroic.
True that, and we are back, and the hook lands onto Tyrael, but the Eldruins gets him to safety. So already starting out pretty hot fire here, Lauren.
Yeah, I expect to see action out of the gate. I was wondering if we would see a slower bit of play from Flame's lane, because they do have Genji in the top lane. Normally you want him hit that E, get the kill, and dash back out, but Lunara's no slouch on damage out of the box. And the blue team is finding out about that. A nice Taming Strike into the hook. You shove him back, you pull back someone else. Almost got a take there.
And honestly, I would expect to see the Tyrael top lane here with the Genji just floating around looking for those picks. If Genji were on the bottom lane here, Insecure on that Greymane would have been dead, 100%. So I don't like the Genji solo lane. I think. Oh, sorry. Tyrael's with the opponents. What am I talking about? Tassadar then. Sorry, Tassadar in the top lane. I'm just crazy. Forget what I ever say. So.
Yeah, I mean, Thunder Awaken are breathing a sigh of relief that Genji's up top, because those were some low health bars, Deadly Ice to the head, all kinds of things. But the first Immortal phase is going to be here. Wasting no time, Flames Lane going to jump on the Immortal. The race is on, though. The Barbie and the crew applying pressure here to the top. Malfield getting value with that trade of his. Lowers the health bar, east of the damage strike, rock blend the target, Tyrael explodes. Yeah,
Tyrael positioned a little bit too far up there, trying to get some trade value, but not quite enough to make it #worth. So now the roster Flame is Lame is looking at pushing up. They have Deadly Ice there on the Genji, just trying to trade damage onto the Immortal. And actually, Insecure loses his life for it. Was that a hook? I was watching the Immortal there.
That was a hook into a detainment strike, and Greymane has reason to feel insecure with their positioning for the rest of this game, because that was a max range hook that came from around the corner, shot and instilling fear in the opponents. 3 members here from Thunder Awaken. Barbie, Brightwing shows up for the teleport. Legend's low on health though. You see Vala stepping in, applying pressure. Rockland's trying to lead the charge as well, but the turnaround damage from Lunar into the Immortal stun, and Deadly Ice shows up. 2 heroes vanish off the map.
See, and that's the Genji I was talking about. Oh no, the Q missed, but last auto attack gets it, and that's 4 kills for nothing. The Immortal does go over to Thunder Awakens, but that's a lot of experience into the hands of Flame is Lame, and those team fights are going to be scary with the amount of damage that Lunar is going to put out, and then the just like the instant kills from the Genji. So I'm so stoked for these team fights to break out.
These team fights have been terrifying enough without Deadly Ice's Genji showing up. When he does, bodies hit the floor. I mean, you get the Immortal at the beginning, so you slow down what kind of value could be had off of that team fight. But the fact still remains, you lost that team fight pretty hard.
Yeah, and we do see Thunder Awakens just deciding to trade, have the Immortal push bottom, and they're just trying to take the front wall down here. I like this call because there's no way they're taking down that fort without a substantial experience lead. So nice job there, 2 walls for nothing, and now the experience lead is pretty well evened out, and they've got the Brightwing, so they might be able to even it out or even push themselves ahead in terms of experience. I did want to comment again, this is full E-build from Genji on a map where Shingan gains so much value.
There's the hook. Speaking of value, D-Blink finds himself way forward on the action, and Shot ends up debating himself into the body blocks. Does get taken down 3 for 1.
Genji!
But Genji's going on. Polymorph's going to be there 3 for 2, and Deadly Ice's leg. When I was young, he lives a life of recklessness, jumps back in. The D-Flex is going to set up the takedown on Brightwing. Can he get out of there? Cyber agility. He's trying to jump. Does he have his E? He doesn't. He goes down.
That Wraith Strike was scary. Okay, Genji gained so much value there, but yeah, if the positioning for Flame is Lame was just a little bit off. They landed the hook to start that fight, but they weren't able to capitalize on it as much as they would have hoped. So I was, the fight goes over to Thunder Awakens there, and they managed to steal the camp away. So nice job by them.
In a lot of ways, I would actually say that Thunder Awaken are ahead in this game. When you have Brightwing before Heroics, your sustain is not really there. To weather this storm as well as they have against the weight of Lunara and Genji, yeah, you're losing out on takedowns, but as far as structures, you're ahead. That lack of wave clear that you talked about during the draft, showing itself right now.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And this Immortal phase is going to be a little bit more difficult for Flame is Lame because we do see some relevant talents coming online. We've got the repeating arrow there for Vala, and pretty much like all auto attack build for the Greymane. So I would look to see just traded damage for Thunder Awakens. Let's see if Flame is Lame gives it to them. Basically, again, the story's probably going to be the hooks.
All eyes will be on Shot Stitches. He's been setting up plays all night, and here he is. He's positioned. Barbie is the target. There's the hook. There's the dash. Brightwing here at the right possible moment. The polymorph goes in. Cyber agility is going to help Genji get out of there. He mounts up. Immortal is here though. Legend and the crew are going to try to start this up. Insecure, joined by Vala. Here they go.
D-Blank on this Brightwing is just really showing up. That teleport was actually perfect there in order to save the Malthael. So And damage on this Immortal actually going over in Flame is Lame's, over to Flame is Lame. So far, a little bit of damage, 5,000 there going over, and Thunder Awaken's positioning up to try to force a team fight here. Shaw taking a lot of damage, the Malthael just doing crazy damage with the Reaper's Mark. But, you know, Genji is just looking to get some resets. The health bar is getting low on either side, but nothing really happening.
Yeah, this could be a situation that really gets out of control when you catch Malthael out of position. The same strike, Brightwing again, you called it, showing up when they need to. Deep Link is there, but at the end of it, he's like, actually, I don't know. Sorry, guys. Goodbye.
Not quite enough there from the Brightwing, but again, like a great call, or sorry, like great try. Almost had the save there onto the Malthael, but yeah, not quite enough. And now just a lot of damage onto the Immortal going over for Flame is Lame, and they're looking to secure this one and get themselves level 10. We're probably going to see a pretty crazy push with this Immortal once that comes up.
Yeah, I'm wondering how Thunder Awaken are going to play this situation. They find themselves down the Immortal race. They're going to try to go ahead and even that out. But look at this. Heroics are right around the corner. The red members, Flame is Lame, look to descend. They'll have their advantage soon enough. The hook goes out on Rockland. He finds himself way out of position. He's able to teleport there, but he's not in position to save his backline. Vala vanishes off the map, and Brightwing tries to teleport. And Flamer's Lame was like, wait, actually, before you go, you forgot the sign for this.
I mean, it's the Genji show, man. Like, he's diving onto the backline, chunking down heroes down to like 20% health, popped the Dragon's Blade, and then basically got polymorphed, and then still just killed everybody off of it. Well, 2 people. So, nice play there by the Genji. And now Flame is Lame are securing their first Punisher of the game. Or sorry, first Immortal of the game. And it was the level 10 that gave it to them.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like the name of the game for Thunder Awaken was to bide their time until they got their heroics. They almost held up, but this is a team fight that definitely could create an avalanche effect. That hook!
Oh man, that was so close.
Someone on the side of Thunder Awaken might be in the market for a new pair of pants, because that hook was a pixel or 2 away from absolute disaster. Good amount of shields left on this Immortal though. Malthael steps forward, tries to lower that, change that around. Insecure, trying to poke in human form on Greymane. Legend with the Burger King crown, applying pressure, stepping forward. Here come the members of Flame is Lame.
Now, Thunder Awaken actually have an opportunity here. If Flame is Lame step up too far, they don't have their Genji available, and they do have the teleport. So look for an engage from Thunder Awaken. The Judgment comes out onto the Ariel. Is it enough to secure the kill? The Aegis there as well to provide the stasis. The teleport comes into the Emerald Wind as well, and Brightwing goes down. The Malthael is just cleaning up on the backside of this fight, though. Trap Queen popping the Archon, doing crazy damage to Thunder Awaken. The hook lands, gets themselves a kill, and that is a 2-for-2 trade.
Let's just press our keys and see what happens. It seems like there was something of a gentleman's agreement between both of these teams. They go all out. Genji jumps in. Bar can't say the same for Vala. He's gonna tip his hat and jump out there. You know, Barbie's like, wait, guys, I thought this was all shot at us about that. Almost got rocked themselves. We were hoping for team fights. We got them.
I wanted to see the reset on the E and just see Genji dive even further, but man, okay, as I was saying, we're gonna see a team fight unfold and the Judgment comes out. Whew. That's
scary. I was a little surprised to see that. I mean, you know, Flame is Lame is starting to back away, and out of nowhere, you just hear that sound, and it's like, could it be? Mm-hmm. And out of nowhere, you see Tyrael jump off that top rope and go full YOLO. And on Dark Chimera, they ended up trading out their supports with Tassadar still up. That ended up favoring Flame is Lame, I'd say, but a scrappy showing from Thunder Awaken.
And Judgment and onto the Ariel, and then the follow-up from Greymane, but it's not quite enough to secure a kill.
Leaping Strike goes in, Insecure tries to jump out of there, Putrid Bile slowing down members. There's the teleport, Brightwing is gonna go ahead and get the heck out of dodge, but these hooks are devastating to the front and back line. Thunder Awaken, Tyrael's gonna go down, and Ganjo jumps the back line, gets the deep black, and says goodbye.
That's the play I'm looking for, man. And the Judgment did come out, but it felt maybe a little bit too ambitious because that was a talent disadvantage fight, right? You know, the nullification was available for Tassadar. Basically, came out onto the Greymane, I think, almost instantly, and that pretty much saved the Ariel on top of course, fantastic heroic usage. So, nice job there by Flame is Lame to turn that team fight. And now it's starting to snowball quite heavily in their favor.
You can't make these overly ambitious decisions against a team like Flame is Lame. I appreciate the tenacity of wanting to go back to the team fighting well, but without your level 13s, that was a precarious progression of events at the very best for Thunder Awaken, and it cost them quite a bit.
Shot positioning up just to try to slow down some of the damage from Thunder Awakens, but I'm not even sure if he'll be able to. Actually, the Putrid Bile is popping out, and the Judgment goes out onto the Stitches. The Aegis is there to save them, and now the rest of Flame is Lame is showing up to try to save Stitches there.
They almost got that takedown to their credit, but the damage is going to be there. Genji again goes off. The dragon becomes me. He's jumping all over. He's looking material. Rocking with the jukes, though. Manages to save himself. Mouthfeel is going to drop. Legend saw to that one personally. Halftime show was already kicked off. Flame is Lame again find themselves in control of the game.
I mean, it's my main dude, Deadly Ice, on that Gengu. Like, he's just straight carrying these team fights, but let's not forget the passive damage coming out from Lunar is pretty much what's allowing Genji to dive onto these backfights, pop that Dragon Blade, and start picking up the kills. So the synergy between this Genji and the Lunara is absolutely fantastic.
It's been incredible to see. I mean, Legend definitely likes to play those heroes that are kind of the star of the show. You know, he likes to play Navala, the Tracer, and have a comp built around that. But when you see a situation like this where Deadly Ice shows up and it's like, hey, Legend's not the only guy on his team making plays, this speaks a lot to the potential of Flames.
And Haloran, this is a 65% health Immortal, and it's pushing in onto a key wall with a full talent advantage in 3 levels. So that's scary. That's scary if you're Thunder Awakens.
Absolutely. I mean, they have to play this near frame perfect if they want to try to sustain this game. At the very minimum, they're going to lose this keep. I can almost guarantee that. Insecure on the flank, looking for the right time to jump in. Shots leading the charge. Walks back. When you see him step back towards his back line, he's going for the hook. The blue team sees that. They manage to avoid it.
This is still like a 30 or 40% health Immortal. Like, Flame is Lame is looking up. If they can land a hook and get a kill, like they can end the game here. Genji dives onto the backline. It secures the first kill. The Aegis comes out. The Dragon Blade also doing a massive amount of damage. And now Polymorph is Genji onto the backline, and he goes down. The Barbie diving onto the back as well and taking a crazy amount of damage on the Malthael. The hook lands, and that's another kill.
It's an absolute bloodbath on Battlefield of Eternity. Rock Flynn's gonna vanish as well. 3 heroes taken down. The core is falling. A healthy Immortal still. This is 1000% GG. Thunder Awaken already called.
Wait, that was definitely the game I wanted to watch. Like, that was 100% the game I wanted to watch, dude. Like, that was awesome.
I am impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadly Ice on Genji is a sight to behold. I mean, when you see heroes like this come into the Nexus to have these high mechanical skill, this playmaking potential, you wonder what can happen in the right hands. Yeah. I mean, Deadly Ice, I would have trouble sleeping tonight if I was on the back line of Thunder Awaken, because it just seemed like at a moment's notice, Genji was there.
Yeah.
Anytime someone had a low health bar, Genji was there. But dude, I was freaking appalled by the burst damage that Legend got off those leaping strikes. It was just like, ooh. Like, I was just shaking my head.
You know, and then Genji would just see that, and then it's like, oh, okay, I've got a shield on me. Ryujin no Kenmo Kurea, diving on the back line, picking up the kills with the Dragon Blade. Like, I love Genji so much. He's such a cool hero to watch. And full E-build, too. Usually you see Q-build emphasis on BOE because of the amount of value that Shingan gains when you're attacking Immortals. But full E-build, you know, Psalm from Temple Storm, you'd be very proud. He's, man, that guy loves E-build more than life itself, I think. So
he would be pleased by the results here, I submit to you. Another thing that I would point out, the Judgment, daring and bold, and I like that.
I liked it.
But I feel like Sanctification would have got overall more value. Because what we saw every time was Judgment would go in, they would either target Stitches or Ariel, mostly Ariel, and then the Polymorph would go right after. And the question becomes, do you have enough burst damage to kill someone before Crystal Aegis comes out? The answer every time was no. And
you highlighted the problem. Yeah, you highlighted the problem. They only have that win condition with Judgment plus Greymane follow-up between 10 and 13. And between 10 and 13, they forced a fight where they were down a talent. So they like almost always lose. Because at level 10, they lost a team fight when Flame is Lame had level 10, right? And they were only level 9. They lost that fight. And then the next fight they took, it was 12 to 13, correct?
Right.
And then they lost that fight as well. And at that point, Tassadar has nullification. So you dive onto any target of Flame is Lame, you just get nullified, and you can't kill anything. You just said the polymorph goes out onto Ariel, which you would think is the right call, right? But if that happens, Tassadar is just like, dude, there's the nullification. Like, you're not killing anybody. Never happening. So, I think exactly what you said is correct. But, yeah, that was a difficult one for Thunder Awakens, that's for sure.
It was cool to see. It was definitely cool to see, but I think they just need to tighten that up a bit. That 12-13 fight was definitely the difference maker, but that raw mechanical play from Flame is Lame was going to be tough to overcome, one way or the other. Looking at the other side of the bracket now, with that victory, Flame is Lame have made their way to the round of 5, the grand finals. That will be a best of 3. They await to see the victor of Scorpion Raccoon in Firm Handshake. So new guys did go down to Scorpion Raccoon. Same was quite different from Firm Handshake, so they go down. Let's see. Looks like we're going to take a little bit of a break, though, while we get that, see who wins that game, the loser of that game going and place Thunder Awaken. But in this time, exclamation point, Matcherino in the chat will give you a link. You put in HH Tempo 2 will allow you to donate $1 donation to the prize pool. These teams have shown up big time and put on incredible games for us to enjoy. What better way to say thanks than taking a few seconds of your time to add $1. But for now, my name's Lauren. I'm joined by the Fox of Hearts, the Kitsune of Heroes, the community coach, your neighborhood-friendly Kalamaka, and we'll be back before you know it. Don't go anywhere.
Kitty.